Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, Tom from TTT Tom's Tech Time. Today, again, with a short episode about the DJI Spark, DJI's tiniest drone. By the way, a product link can be found in the video description below for all tech specs and a lot more. And another link, a review of mine, an in-depth review. But after that review, I was scrolling through your questions and finally ended up with a whole list of questions, really interesting questions that DJI even did not answer on their FAQ. So right now, check out the FAQ, your questions, my answers. A short answer to that question, no, you cannot use the DJI Mavic Pro's remote controller with the DJI Spark. And there is a reason for that, and that is not that the manufacturer basically thinks, okay, we just want to sell another remote control. It's basically that the DJI Mavic Pro's remote control uses OcuSync, a special and really advanced transmission system, while the cheaper DJI Spark uses a basic Wi-Fi connection. Yes, you can basically charge the DJI Spark on the go with a very normal power bank. There are two product links down in the video description below, one for a tiny power bank and one for a really powerful power bank. I have both and I'm really happy with them. And the cool thing is you basically take a normal USB cable, plug it into the back of the power bank, plug the other end into the USB port that is hidden right underneath where it says Spark, and the battery is simply going to charge. And the cool thing is the battery has a total capacity of 1,480 milliamp hours. And this means that with the tiny power bank, I can charge this battery up to approximately 2.8 times. This is really amazing and really awesome for, I don't know, on-the-go filming. No worries, you will be able to basically track any objects, persons, people, cars, vehicles with the DJI Spark and the active track mode. It is not about what that object is, if it is human or if it's not human. I guess the drone doesn't really care about that. It is only about being able to spot an object. So if the camera correctly sees an object, meaning that the lighting is correct, meaning that the background might have another color than the object you want to track. For example, if I'd be wearing, I don't know, some military clothing right now, greenish, standing in front here, maybe, I don't know, hiding, that might be getting difficult. But if I'm standing here and I'm having a different, I'm basically having a contrast to the background, it's gonna work. You can even track fixed objects. For example, towers, you could track those, even though they're not moving, and you could just fly around them while the drone keeps them in focus. It's pretty amazing. Active track can basically track every object. You, your car, a bike, whatsoever. Yes, you will be able to connect the tiny DJI Spark drone to the ultra cool and sexy looking DJI Goggles. But today I can't connect things. Why is that so? It is basically because it's still pretty early. Most units have not been shipped yet, and I'm still waiting for a firmware update for the DJI Spark. But after that firmware update, they will be connectable. You can check the video description below. There will be a short note of mine telling you whether that firmware update was already released or not. Next to that, you will find a product link pointing at the goggles and a review of mine about the goggles as well. But there is another thing that you should know about the connection between the Spark and the goggles. You won't be able to connect the drone wirelessly. The only drone that can be connected without any cables is the DJI Mavic Pro. This tiny drone needs a micro USB cable that can be plugged into the remote controller, and the other end goes into the headband of the goggles, and that way you will be finally able to experience the cockpit flying feeling. It's really a lot of fun. And the cool thing about this connection is that this means that you will be able to scroll through the menus, that you will be able to use the intelligent flight modes right with the goggles. You won't need a smartphone for that purpose, because most other drones, except the Phantom 4 series, except the Mavic Pro, can only be connected via an HDMI cable, meaning that you will only have an image transmission, but no settings at all. And having a micro USB cable connected means that all the modes will probably be available, maybe even head tracking mode, etc. I can't really go in depth about that right now, as I'm not having any information about it. The only thing I can say is yes, they will be connectable in the end. I would not recommend trying to attach a 360 degrees camera to the tiny DJI Spark, and tiny might be the key word. It's just too tiny, meaning that most cameras are still pretty big, meaning that the aerodynamics won't be pretty efficient anymore, meaning that you will probably not able to control the Spark precisely anymore. Next to that, the battery life. I mean, it's limited to about 15 real flight minutes. And I don't know, with having a big camera attached, you will simply decrease that as well. I would rather choose, for example, the DJI Phantom 4 Professional. It is stronger, it is more precise, it's bigger, the motors are stronger, it's just the better drone for that purpose. I would not recommend using the DJI Spark together with a 360 camera. No worries, you will always get your drone back safely. You simply perform a V for about 2 seconds. After that, the Spark automatically descends to about a height of 1.5 meters. It flies closer to your position and stops approximately 1.2 meters away from you, meaning that you can slide your hand underneath it and palm land it. It's easy, simple, and effective. Yes, you can at all times use your smartphone or remote control with the DJI Spark in gesture control and take over. It is pretty simple. You open up the Wi-Fi settings menu, connect to the Spark, open up the Go app, and you're connected and can take over, or you simply turn on the remote control and can immediately take over. No worries if using gesture control and there are some difficulties, I don't know, the light simply turns itself off. Whatever happens and you cannot use gesture control, you can always take control with the smartphone or remote control with no worries at all. The tiny DJI Spark is neither using DJI's famous light bridge system that, for example, the DJI Phantom series uses, nor does it use the DJI OcuSync transmission system. It is a basic Wi-Fi connection, as I mentioned before, and no superior image transmission. It's a cheaper drone and it is a cheaper transmission system. Technically, it should be possible, but I think it is very unlikely to happen, and there are two reasons for that. First of all, I don't think that the hardware of the DJI Spark is able to take that extra stress. I don't think that the computing power is strong enough, fast enough to work with 4K and 100 Mbit, for example. Just think of DSLR cameras. Most of them, Canon, Nikon, all of those, they cannot record 4K, and 100 megabits per second are like a dream to them. I don't think that DJI is going to implement that into their cheapest drone. It simply doesn't make sense. Maybe they're going to work on the frame rates. Maybe they're going to make 24 and 25 frames per second available. That would be something that I could think of. And the second reason is if they would right now install a 4K update or something to the drone, they would create some competition to the Mavic Pro. Even though, of course, the Mavic Pro is going to be the winner, I think, in every category besides the size when it comes to a comparison between the Spark and the Mavic Pro. But many consumers that are not really into the technology might just, I don't know, go to Best Buy and see, oh, cool, 2 4K drones and one only costs a third of the other. And then they just go with a cheaper one. And I don't think that DJI is going to be interested in that.
Welcome to the all-new Tom's Tech Time website. Let me show you around. Dozens of how-to videos, reviews, and comparisons are waiting for you. All categorized, all free, all ready to watch. At tomstechtime.com, you're only one click away from our highly viewed segment, The Drone Film School. There you can find video lessons, buyer's guides, and many filmmaking templates. Don't own a drone yet? Click the Deals page and find the hottest offers on the web. And if you already have a drone, enhance its capabilities with the most highly recommended accessories for filmmaking, safety, and a better flying experience. tomstechtime.com, teaching the world how to fly drones.
I receive this question quite frequently, and people are really interested in a comparison between these two drones, and that is why I will be publishing a comparison within the next few days. It might be possible though that if you're watching this video a little later, that the video is already released. So check out the video description below, there might be a link. And if you're watching this video, if it is still brand new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to not miss the comparison. Nope, unfortunately, you cannot start or stop video recordings when using the gesture mode, which is, I don't know, a little sad actually, but it's understandable. It is supposed to be a selfie drone, meaning that you can finally only take selfies. I really tried it all. I was trying crazy movements in front of the drone. No, just kidding. I talked to DJI stuff and read through the manual, of course, myself, and there is simply no possibility to start or stop the video recording in gesture mode. The focus of the DJI Spark is 100% fixed. You cannot change it. There is no touch focus, as for example seen on the Mavic Pro. And that takes me to one thing that I need to mention. I have seen some comparisons and they showed that the footage of the 4K Mavic Pro was unsharper than the footage of the DJI Spark. And that has only one reason. The Mavic Pro's footage is sharper in every aspect. It's the better image. Of course, it's a 4K camera. The drone costs 3 times as much as the Spark. And there's one reason for that. It's the touch focus. The touch focus with the Mavic Pro basically means that you can set the focus to different layers of the image, foreground, background, the middle of the image. And of course, if you, for example, focus at the back, of course, the sides, for example, if there is a close tree standing right next to me and you're focusing on the back, of course, the tree is not going to be 100% in focus. That is exactly how they want it to look like. And of course, the Spark has an overall sharp look. It's not a bad overall sharp look. I mean, every GoPro has that and most other cheap cameras have that, but it's a goal to have unsharp edges and to have unsharp backgrounds and stuff. We're really working on that. For example, when using the big DJI Inspire 2 drone, we can blur out the entire background when filming. It is really great, only saying that the Mavic Pro still beats the camera quality of the tiny DJI Spark in every aspect, even though the picture for a 1080p camera is pretty brilliant. You want a short answer? No, it's not possible. Really. I tested it, I talked to DJI, and no. It is actually pretty amazing that even if you forgot to install a microSD card, you can still record some footage or photos to the Spark. But actually, and that is the key thing, not to the Spark, but to your smartphone, as your smartphone is capable of saving the live feed. But that has 2 cons. First of all, the resolution is really, let's just say it's not great. I can write the total resolution down. And next to that, if, for example, you're having some image transmission problems, all those transmission errors will be recorded as well. So it is a nice backup if you're at a super beautiful looking location and you won't ever end up being there again. But I cannot recommend only using the live feed that is safe to your smartphone. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Tom's Tech Time. Don't forget to subscribe to never ever miss any of my upcoming episodes again. And if you want to support my work for free, check out tomstechtime.com/support. Thank you guys, stay tuned and fly safe.